A very big welcome to you, my dear Aries. So you are getting today your full moon. That means the sun is in Libra. Libra is opposite of you, giving you the light for this full moon. And so justice and equilibrium and understanding what it means to be a person that is in the center of the scales. Right? And that we have that clear thought that comes to us and we can expand like the owl and see things that we before never were able to see. And so the sun is giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And it's the full moon, right? And so you are getting that moment where clarity comes over here, a dark planet, a dark object, and as such we are able to look deeper within and see what's going on here in our subconscious. And this is the story today. We are looking at the Queen of Wands and at the King of Pentacles, because both have the Emperor above them, and here it's the classical and here it's a mix. Is your birthday between the 21st of March to the 9th of April, then you are here the classical Aries. And is your birthday between the 10th to the 20th of April, you are this mix. Here I have a time, so you can jump forward. You don't need to listen to hear this reading, right? And so this is what I'm now experiencing, right? I am seeing that there's a pure Aries, and then there is a mix already here with the King of Pentacles. And we also have that to the previous reading, just that you see, right, the Queen of Wands exists also with the moon above. Is your birthday between the 12th to the 20th of March, then you're this combination. Here's a time too in the previous reading that you can jump forward to and have a look at that. Back to the last reading where we had Virgo Sun giving Aries Moon the light. The Queen of Wands, your self-worth is challenged. The King of Pentacles, to give and take is happiness. And I looked if there is a reoccurring card, and there is not. So we can begin the reading. So the Queen of Wands is getting out of her deck the Hanged Man. And what's interesting here, it's Neptune. And Neptune is in Aries, is in your sign. So you are getting clearly a sign that says, okay, Neptune is going to be 14 years in your sign. And you will realize a lot of things. You will be like 14 years in this like hanged man situation. So we have here the 12 and the 1, which is the 13, a big transformation that comes to you. And out of the 13 we get the 4, then you have a 4-4 portal. But I could also calculate the 12 and the 1, the 13 and the 4 is the 17. So you get actually the star. If you want to be a star, right, you need to let go now of how you think you want to be living that stardom. And the 8 appears here as an end result. So you can either pick 44 or then, of course, the 8, right? Just that you understand. Now, we're going to look at Neptune, at the Hanged Man, and he's bringing you the victim. Now, you are able to let go of the victim that comes out of your childhood. And of course we have a light aspect and a dark aspect, and because he's Hanged Man, he sees first the dark one, and the dark one is playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. So you are able to let that go in the next 14 years. And the light attributes are prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. So the 12 is the 3, right? The Empress, when we unite the 1 and the 2, the 1 the Magician, the 2 the High Priestess, very strong and powerful energy, the masculine and the feminine, and in there appears the 3, the Empress, a female figure, Venus, right? That brings then healing and prosperity and the next level. And then, of course, with you, the 1 is the 4, so the Emperor is appearing here. So this is talking to you now. Of course, I want to see, since Neptune is in Aries, I pulled another card from your deck, and what came up is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is Cancer. She's also cardinal like you, but she begins the summer and you begin the spring. So here you are seeing that the Queen of Cups is bringing you the healing that you need to let go of the victim. Then you have a 444 portal because she's the 4th zodiac sign, right? And so here with you, we see that the 4 here, the 13 is a 4, and here a 4. So you understand that you are in the midst of bringing self-empowerment to you, and in that self-empowerment you are realizing that it's your heart that helps you to open yourself up and to release the victim that is still within you. And you have 14 years, and the 14 turns into a 5, and that's that human aspect in us that learns to let go of things that we thought not being able to let go of, right? So then I wanted to see, what is the Queen of Cups saying? The Queen of Cups is coming again. So now you have a 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 4, and finally then the heart is opening. So the Queen of Cups is saying, yes, heal, dive into your emotions, let go of what you have to let go of. And that's the victim, right? The victim that says, well, look at me, poor me, etc., right? So let go of that and do work, right? There's Gabor Mate, there are so many amazing people doing workshops, there is the journey, there are so many ways of looking at where you stuck, and the healing comes 2 times through a Cancer, through the emotions, through water and water. Go to a body of water, either a lake, either the ocean, either a river, whatever, or a source, and cleanse yourself. Go and dive into the water. So this is beautiful, right? So you can see that there is now 4 times the 4, it's the 44, and you see that you are realizing that the 4 is stability, but also the heart. Beautiful. So now I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, because these cards are round, and here you get the Ace of Swords facing down. Now when it's facing up, we're in meditation, we are clear, we are healing, we transform, but it came upside down. So that's where you need to work on, right? In how you see yourself as that victim. So we're going to go through. And of course, I also want to see what is bringing the Ace as solution, and it's the drum. And drumming is important because we bring the new vibration out like the heartbeat. And here we have the 15, which is Capricorn, which is certain attachments to the physical world, because we have 5 senses, and then +1, which is the 3rd eye, the 6th sense. The 6 appears, plus the 1 is the 7, the crown chakra. Learn to understand that Cancer is the Chariot, right? The Queen of Cups. And here you learn to come into the success that goes forward, not backwards. And so, of course, very clearly we get the 7 here. So now I'm going to go through, we're going to put the Hanged Man here first. So the 12 and the 1 thought is the 13 transformation. Then you have here a 4 again. And the 4 and the 6 is the 10. A new cycle can begin with this full moon. So really see that you have for 14 years the Hanged Man, Neptune in your sign, and you're gonna really be another person, right? You're gonna change constantly, dramatically, and so accept that. Then what's happening with the victim, right? So here we have the 7 in your crown chakra. You're releasing these thoughts, letting them go, because the Hanged Man is hanging upside down and the Ace of Swords is also upside down. So it's actually like indicating that you should look deeper into your meditation, go within, see in the dark what appears, and then start correcting yourself and drum it out into the world. And then, of course, here 2 times the Queen of Cups, right? So here we have a 44, but I could also like calculate here the 4 and the 1 into a 5. The 5 and the 15 is the 20. The 20 is then Pluto, the last judgment, and Pluto is in Aquarius, and that's where the new thoughts are coming from. These thoughts are streaming down through Aquarius. The information comes and we start learning more and more about how we can change things, how we can awaken. And so I can also create the 6 plus then the 5 is the 11. I can do a portal out of the 4 and the 1, the 5, and the 6, the 11 portal, or the 20. You choose which one feels better. But you see twice you got here Cancer coming and teaching you to awaken, which is important because here you have an 11 with yourself, the 1 sword, that 1 thought, and that 1 action. That's all you need. Plus the 6 is the 8, right? And so I can also with the 15 add the 1 and the 2, which is the 17, then you get also the 8. But you understand very clearly that there is a huge shift, a huge change that is coming to you, and then you can beat the drum and literally let the world know that you have done the healing. Beautiful. The King of Pentacles, he's getting out of his deck the 5 of Swords, which is Venus in Aquarius. And Venus in Aquarius is bringing you the 5 of Swords, which is fighting. But it's behind him. As you can see, he's facing the left. So the 2 and the 5 is the 7. Have the emotional intelligence to not get yourself into these type of fights. And of course, I want to see what's coming here from Venus. The Pope is coming. So you fighting the organized religions. And I think the 5-5 portal is clearly letting you know, become creative, how you express your opinion into the world. We don't need to bad mouth everything, right? Certain situations have existed. Now focus on what you find good as the solution. And that's where the 5-5 comes in, right? And him realizing that he's looking at you. It's almost like you're like, no, I'm not going to give you this money. No, that's it. And he's literally looking away from him and says, yeah, well, look, these 2 men are here with the Pope, and they are kind of like, well, this is what happened. So, you know, when we calculate it all together, we get the 12, and the 12 is then again Neptune, which is in Aries. So you feel that too, right? Aries is coming here as well through the 12, through the Hanged Man, and then the 3 appears when we unite all of that. So what is Aquarius bringing? The 5 of Cups, and that's Mars in Scorpio. So now you have 5, 5, 5, 3 times the 5. I mean, it's clear self-empowerment by the way you talk, by the way you interact, by the way you believe, by the way you actually holding other people in a belief system, and by the way you actually also emotionally let things go, but are sad because you are a human being. And that's the 5, right? The 5 is always the 5th chakra. And then, of course, the 5 plus the 1 is then the 3rd eye. The liberation is always in the 3rd eye. And so here you have a 555 portal, 3 times the 5. Learn to speak without hurting others. Learn to realize that every word is important. Learn to discern how you say things so that you are not falling into a depression or into a sadness. So of course here I also want to see what the Mother Peace Tarot is bringing. So we're going to look at each of the cards. And what's coming is the Emperor. So the Emperor is coming as the Emperor right here in the Mother Peace Tarot, and it came up straight. So you are very much like an Emperor. So you are very much like understanding, okay, here I am, the King of Pentacles, but above me I have this energy. So then I want to see what is the Emperor bringing, and the 2 of Pentacles is appearing. And that's Jupiter in Capricorn. So Jupiter is the expansion, Capricorn is the financial attachment, right, to this world. I need to buy this, I need to have the money, I need this, I need many things to survive. And so the 4 and the 2 is a 6. Learn to manage the dualities that are creating a dance, a natural dance that we want to connect with. So what is coming here with the 5 of Swords? We see the 6 and the 5 is an 11. That's a portal. So when you fight with others, understand that there is no winner. Even you think, oh, well, I won, and then I was strong enough, and I was able to defeat them. There's no winner. Never. So observe that. And the 11 is bringing you clearly the portal for you to understand that. The same here. There is an 11 here as well, right? Through the 5 and the 6, you have an 11. And also here, the leading role of the church is disappearing, because we are starting to see more and more how manipulative and how controlling this system is. We need to liberate ourselves, and that's where the 11 comes in. So now you have 2 times the 11 or 4 times the 1. And you understand, it's clear, okay, I gotta get out of here. I gotta change and see that the Emperor and here the Hierophant are following up. I could also do the 5 and the 4 and 9, a completion, liberation from the patriarch, and she's dancing it. She's literally, here's one and here's the other one, and she's like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna dance my way out of these patriarchal energies. I don't want to participate in that anymore. And then here with the 5 of Cups, you see also a 9, and you see that you don't want to be an emperor, you don't want to control people, create sadness, and you also want to dance yourself out of it. It's almost like the Emperor is saying, well, that's the time now to liberate yourself. These 14 years are going to shift you. It's a 5. You have the 5 here, you have the 5 here, and you have the 5 here. And it's intense, right? This is an intense 5, and this is an intense 5. But here you have the 5 where you are learning to overcome here the 5 senses and go into the 6th sense. And then the 11 appears. You have 3 times the 11 or 6 times the 1. And that's it, right? You are understanding that today is the day where you like dancing yourself out of fighting and being right and wanting to be, you know, controlling others with the way you speak. And also here in your religious beliefs, right? Everybody is allowed to believe what they supposed to believe, right, or want to believe. And the same here, right? Overcome that 6 times the 1. 6 times the 1 says, well, 6 times you gotta look at your third eye and look deeper and understand the liberation is right here in leaving this structure. And then the 2 and the 2 is the 22. That's the 22nd of February as a date. Or I can make then a 44 here, right? But this could be the 22nd of April, a date that is important for you. But you see, right, the 22 is Uranus, and Uranus is in Gemini for 7 years, and we're going to communicate in a completely new way. We're going to get away from patriarch thinking, and this is what's happening here, right? The 22 Uranus begin fresh with not being an emperor, not being a figure that is like wanting to control other people. You are actually now learning to let go of that control and learning to become more a gentle human being that sees the whole, right? That sees the healing and sees that we cannot, right, be your Mars in Scorpio, be stuck in this water. And you see the 3, which is the Empress, and you see the 2, which is the High Priestess, and also the duality, right? And she's looking at the 3 and she's like, oh my God, I let go of that. But when she turns her head, she sees that she has 2 more. And in that 2, she says, I'm dancing away. The 2, that's all I understand and need to understand, is that duality is what could control me, but I don't want to be controlled, because it's the understanding now that I am awakening more and more to this reality, is that I am liberated in the end. So this is the reading for the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Scorpio. And of course, I wish you a beautiful ceremony today, right? Really enjoy this full moon. Really enjoy being up there in the sky. Have that, here I am, I show myself, because after that you go back to the new moon. We go back introverted. And so again, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.